Hey everyone, Mike here from Clear Brands Grow. In today's Zoomside chat, I am joined by the awesome Paul Nolan. He is the co-founder of Kurnos, a health screening, employee assistance, drug and alcohol testing, and HR support business. So Paul, welcome.
Hi there. Hi, Mike. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, great to be here today. What fun we're going to have, eh?
Yeah, so it should be good. Should be good. So tell me about Kurnos and tell me how it started.
Well, interesting times we live in as now. We started the company quite recently, if you like, in September 2019. No COVID about. We looked at an opportunity in the market, totally different world as it seems now. And we just saw a complete opening for health screening. And health screening in a way within businesses where it was working in with their EAP systems, etc. And whereas it was benefit to companies in two ways. For the company, they got attendance, loyalty, productivity, and well-being, which is a key factor of people working now. But also, the actual employees gained out of it. They got their, health, fitness, reduced stress, and improved focus by knowing their numbers. So we generated something I want to show you, actually, like an ID card.
I know the screen isn't working, is it? Perfect.
We're unusual because we've got real high-end service. We deal, our staff are only high-end PIN registered qualified nurses. So we've got pros actually delivering our service for us. They'll give a health screen, but what they also deliver at the end of it is information, advice and guidance on your well-being. And I think we've talked about this many times about fitness with you doing your running, etc. And you're right in there. But the funny thing about it is we all do stuff. We're down at the gym, we're doing all these things that we feel's right, and it's got to coincide with your diet. But it's also a personal thing about your own makeup. And the funny thing is how we look at our friends, colleagues, and family, and you think, well, they look quite fit, or is he the healthy one or are they not? And it's not until you really have a health screen that you actually know the nuts and bolts of it. And it's nothing to be frightened of. But the great thing is, and it's obviously one of our real push lines, is know your numbers. Yep. And I think, that's almost the story of life, isn't it? Our finances, our client bases, yep. Knowing your numbers. But no one actually tends to play it that much with their health. And most of the things that people seem to do with their health is very reactive. Mm-hmm. And what we want to see from people, and as Kurnos, it's a real passion for Pete Rivers, is my co-founder and colleague. We've got a passion about people being proactive about their health, and not letting it jump up on you. Most people only turn up at the doctors when they've got a problem.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, we understand that, makes sense, doesn't it? But sometimes if you had a health screen where you could actually look at yourself and see that, you could avert problems along the way as you go along, that's the way to go. If you yep. think in business, we think nothing of it. That's what we all yep. aim to do. But yep. with your health, people seem to put that to the back of the line and, I'll collapse.
Yeah. And that's so strange, isn't it? Because it's the most important, it's like the most important you have is your life, isn't it? You can't do anything else without your health.
You think that we could all win the lottery and everything else, but
yep.
if your health's bad, what good is it to you at all?
Exactly.
And
yep.
well-being as well. And that's another thing in the workplace as well. I mean, you know me from me now, I'm a happy person, and I'm crazily happy sometimes. Yeah, but I try to push out. For years, I've promoted PMA, positive mental attitude. I don't believe there's much you can't achieve if you've got one of those and you really work on yourself, yep. and you put that out there. Karma's a great thing. What you do good to other people comes back to you as well. Mm-hmm. Enjoy your life. Mm-hmm. And like I say, this all come to a head really with us looking at, well, what's the most important facts you got? And Pete had a few sort of health issues, as you know, and it really brought its own to us that, you know what, if people proactively looked at their situation as early as they can, you can work towards a happier, healthier life and not get these later midlife shocks that people do get. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's turned into, like I say, a real good business for us.
Yep.
Different events, as we all know now, with what's gone on since January, etc., have almost, if I say reinvented the business,
I was going to say so that's, kind of an ideal business for like pre-COVID. How are things changed since COVID? Like what impact has it had on the business? Given it was only like a relatively new business, like what did you have to do?
Well, the crazy thing of it is it turned health. So if you like, when I was talking to people in September, October, November, people were very interested, yeah. But as for sort of pushing it forward, they were so busy, life was and business was really pushing on. You've got the Christmas run as well. And, everything was very, 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 very intense, if you like. And people were sort of looking, saying, we're really interested in doing that in January, February. We'll have a go. And I was getting good bookings and things were moving. The strangest thing is that, if you like, it's really brought our business to the forefront, because the stats from COVID that were coming through all point to the same thing. People with underlying health issues are at most vulnerable. And the funniest thing is what do you consider to be an underlying health issue? Well, to me, it's falling off, all sorts. Yeah, that's what I call managing. Underlying health issues, confusing sometimes for people who are not sort of involved. And underlying your health issues, your BMI high, your cholesterol high. These are things that we all consider to be sort of minor irritations, but they're real underlying health issues that, if you are unfortunate to contract something like COVID-19, all of a sudden become a big issue. So for us as a business, our message is like 10 times as strong. People are really interested. We've got some programs going on, employee reset. It's really being taken well by corporates, small and medium enterprises as well, because if employees now, yourself, the whole fabric of our society has changed over the last 4 to 6 months. And people need to be back to work, for their own well-being, if nothing else as well, because it seems great working from home and it is a great novelty. But there's nothing better than interacting,
Oh, it can be so tough, can't it? Working from home full time, so difficult.
From our own zones, yeah. But yourself, when we get together, and even you and I, Michael, we've got together, the way you generate different new ideas, implement, fix them, move them around when you're together as a team, it's tenfold. And the other thing is the general well-being when you're looking at health as well, of people interacting and people enjoying each other's company. It's something we all love and want to do. It's really just brought everything we do to the forefront. And as I say, employee reset is a key thing for getting groups, offices back together with confidence and focus. Because if you look at your health numbers, and I say, like, you look at our ID card and you know your numbers. Once you know your numbers, you feel happy about your place. You feel more confident going to work, yeah? And let's face it, it's not just going to work as it was before. You've got to do all the whole safety thing, sanitising, washing your hands with soap and water, making sure you're wearing your mask in the right places, not collating round in groups where you don't have to. And people find that a little bit intimidating, especially when they're thinking about going back into the workplace. Again, we work with employers as well, where we support them in how you get to the office back. How's your spacing working out so people feel comfortable in the environment and it works for them? And with that, what we're finding is a really great response and take up, because people do genuinely want to get back to work. They want to get back to, if you like, that it's a terrible phrase, in it, normal. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess even on a some people do like working from home, and a lot of people are talking about the whole work from home for a bit and sort of part-time in the office. So there's going to be an element of going back to the office regardless of sort of where we move on. Isn't it?
We need a work-life balance, and that's probably going to bring this forward to a better place where people's probably spend 2 or 3 days at home and 2 or 3 days at the office, rotating around. I don't see how any business can have long-term development or growth without interaction within an office-bound area, because you need, like I say, you think we have different conversation, we have emails, but you know yourself, all of us together are most creative when we're together. And that's what every business needs. And plus, you think of yourself as well, is when I was starting up in business and within Sun Chemical Toya Group, you manage to meet great other directors, great other managers, and you learn from them as you're working up and building up in your career. You can't learn that from your living room on a Zoom chat. You really can't. You need the interaction and the development and the focus on you building as an individual.
And not just from a colleague perspective, but also from a client customer interactions, isn't it?
I honestly don't see. I mean, it all seems fabulous now, the way people are working and what they're doing. But I think the bottom line with it is I don't think any real business will have long-term growth and stability without actually their teams interacting properly. I say this is a good short gap for what we've got going on now. This is such an unusual circumstance.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think we are so fortunate that this has happened. Obviously, ideally it wouldn't have happened at all, but You
Oh,
know,
God.
we're in a time when technology is sort of almost, sort of bridged the gap between
Oh, God.
being in work and not being work. Can you imagine this had been 10 years ago? It would have been awful.
Oh, so, but you know more than I do. You know, this technology has been lingering around for the past 2 or 3 years, but we've barely touched it. You know, we'd still phone someone, say, you know, from London to Manchester, say, let's have a meet and go there. Where look at what we're doing now. This is perfect for certainly for interim meets and before you actually, you know, commit to, you know, working with people. So this stuff's been here. Now we get to really use it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It really has.
Perfect.
And I think that's a real good sort of technical boost for all of us, that all these utilities are here to use. Yeah.
But that's cool. So yeah, so I think from the sounds of it, Kurnos, well, I already knew quite a bit about Kurnos before, but the fact that you're giving, even before COVID and post COVID, it's the fact that you're giving people that don't generally think about their health like a baseline. You're giving them like this is where you are right now.
Exactly.
And then it's up to them what they do with that, or you know, you offer that support and guidance into how to improve that, with the aim of improving their long time life and probably extending the life and just making sure they live a full and sort of happy life, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, as we said, first of all, you know, if you haven't got your health in your life, you are struggling. There's no doubt about it. You know, you don't get up with that bounce. Wow, you know, what must it be like? You know, you and I, it's like if you have a down day and you think, when's this going to end? It's only been like 5 hours or something ridiculous. You know, I've got no patience with not being healthy. And I look around. You do need it. It is the most valuable asset you've got, and you've got to take a personal responsibility for it as well. And what I mean by that is not relying on the NHS and doctors to fix you, but to work on yourself proactively. So it doesn't get to that stage. Why not? You know, it's for you. It's the one thing that's truly for you that no one can take, and you know, you can only benefit from.
Yeah, and it's a great thing for employers to do for their staff, isn't it? Like, you know, if you really care about your staff.
Yeah, I honestly can't think of a better thing. As I said before, it's a win-win. You know, the employer, wow, he gets all the benefits. It's just been statistically proven, that people who have got better well-being are enhanced by their groups, they can take less sick, and they're better focused and better managing their time personally and at work. It's just a fact. It really is.
Yeah, perfect.
Like I say, you know, forward-thinking companies really do. They eat this up with a spoon because they can see the value in it, and it's great to deliver it. We love it because we give a completely positive message.
Brilliant, man. Honestly, Paul, that was awesome. How can people get in touch with you if they have more questions?
Oh, well, Christ, as you can see on the background beside me, you can call me direct, email me, and always happy to talk to everybody. My phone seems to be constantly ringing. Please, if you do call me, always leave a message, and promise I'll be getting back to you within the hour. Inquiries, we are, I wouldn't say we're saturated, but we've got a lot of inquiries, and we're booking people 14 days in advance and groups. It doesn't seem, it's such a funny thing, because when we watch the news, it's all doom and gloom, and you know, are we going back to work? Does anyone want to go back to the office? You've got big corporations like banks sort of, you know, saying they're not coming back till next year. I find this so sad, because I feel they don't realise what they're going to come back to. You know, so much depends on everybody actually getting back to some form of normality for their own well-being. I think when people say, what do you think's frightening about COVID-19? COVID-19 is quite a scary little something as a virus. But I think what's even more frightening for us is the future, and what we're going to be left with afterwards. I mean, if you think of the bad things that are happening with COVID, I took the other side of it, and post-COVID, what's society going to be like? Who's going to be working?
So much uncertainty, isn't there?
Do you imagine? This is almost like being in a space rocket like we are now, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not being funny. You could be on Mars, I could be on Venus. We're sitting in our different planets and we're chatting with each other. But if we didn't have that interaction like we do with other people outside our bubble, wow, what a dull place it would be. And I think, you know, for us stimulating and, you know, as humans, it's just not healthy for us not to be around people. I mean, we all love popping out for a coffee and having a chat with friends, colleagues, you know, and new business partners. It's great, you know, it's a great way to live and do things. And we've got used to that wonderful lifestyle.
Yes, we have, haven't we?
To be like this, I feel like I'm a bear hibernating. It's not been the winter, you know, it's a bit crazy.
Well, hopefully things will change. I can't, you know, no one can say when and how long it's going to take, but hopefully things will start to look better. and hopefully Kurnos can help a few companies get back into the office, and beyond that, just helping their employees to live longer, happier life. So that would be awesome.
Oh, listen, I love what we do.
Yeah.
And like I say, everyone we touch, I've not. Like I say, I don't know anyone that's got a bad thing to say about us, and I don't mean that in a funny way. Is that you think what we're doing for people? We give them advance warning on possible health issues. We give them information, advice, and guidance how to deal with it. We're not like some companies as well. What you'll find in the sort of health screening industry is that a lot of other companies, what they like to do is sell you more, add on this, add on that, add on this, add on that. Do you know what? We just do this 7-point health screen. We get you to go to the professionals that can seriously help you where needed, and then information, advice, and guidance, and you can improve.
Perfect.
So what we find, it's a really good, solid service we deliver for people, because if you did, for let's say, have some sort of health issue that we could actually highlight for you within the health screen, we could say do an ECG, we could say do this, do that, charge you X amount of money all over the place. But you know, the truthful is the only person that can really help you at that stage is your GP. That's what your GP's got, your full history in front of them that we are not privileged to have. And it's funny, I'd love to say I could run as well as you, but obviously we know that was quite a few years back, But when you look at two individuals and you think of their, they probably have the same stats, same health things, but you know what, without your history, it's quite meaningless in the respect of an issue. And that's when you need your GP. Now, your GP, and that's the great thing about living in the UK, your GP is free. You go down and see him, and he will give you then the next stage of what the best thing is to do with you, as an individual. And that's what's so powerful about Kurnos, is that we give you enough information for you to make the right decisions at your cost, no cost, basically.
Perfect.
And I think it's a genuinely good service that we deliver. It's not about add-ons, bolt-ons, and Kurnos, charging this, charging that. It's a one charge for the health screen, and then we give you the information and guidance that you need to move to the next level.
Perfect. And I think on that positive note, I think we'll end it there, Paul. Thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, listen, great. Always, Mike. Yeah. And like I say, look forward to catching up again soon.
Yeah, perfect. Brilliant. Right. Thanks, everyone. And tune in to the next video. Cheers. Bye.